Yeah, this is the Murli of the 22nd of January 1988. 22nd of January 1988. The first step of courage is to surrender. The first step of courage is to surrender. And in parenthesis, it is written, the life story of Brahma Baba. Today, Bap Dada, the ocean of love, is pleased to see his loving children. Today, Bap Dada, the ocean of love, is pleased to see his loving children. Each and every loving soul has just the one deep desire and elevated thought that they should all become equal to the Father and become merged in love. What is Baba saying? Today, Bab Dada, the ocean of love, is pleased to see his loving children. Each and every loving soul has just the one deep desire and elevated thought that they should all become equal to the Father and become merged in love. To become merged in love means to become equal to the Father. Everyone has the determined thought in their heart that they definitely have to give a return of the love, the powerful sustenance, and the limitless and imperishable treasures they have received from Bapdada. So, what is Baba saying? To become merged in love means to become equal to the Father. Everyone has the determined thought in their heart that they definitely have to give a return of that love. The powerful sustenance and the limitless and imperishable treasures they have received from Bap Dada. What will you give as a return? Apart from the love in your hearts, what else do you have? So the only thing that we can give to Baba in return is the love. But he not only gives us love, but also his powerful sustenance and the limitless and imperishable treasures as well. Whatever you have has been given to you by the Father. Even the love that we have for Baba was given to us by Baba. It's like when children give their parents some birthday gift, it is the money that they got from their parents. Right? So we are returning it back to the parents. It's the same thing as here, that we give back to Baba what Baba has already given to us. What else will you give? To become equal to the Father is the return, and you can all do this. So, what does Baba want from us? Is to become equal to Him. That's it. Babdada is seeing that at this time the awareness of Father Brahma has specially emerged in everyone's heart to a greater extent. So 18 January had just passed 4 days back. This awareness is not of that physical body, but the awareness of the specialities of his divine activities, because the Alokik Brahmin life is a life of being an embodiment of knowledge. When you are an embodiment of knowledge, the awareness of the body does not bring any waves of sorrow. Whenever people in a life without knowledge remember someone, the physical body of that person would appear in front of them, and because it is a bodily relationship, they experience sorrow. However, when you Brahmin children remember the Alokik Father, you receive power, for you definitely also have to become equal to the Father. Yes, small f Father, that is Brahma Baba. The awareness of the Alokik Father increases your capability, that is, it gives you power. In what kind of power? Simple, it is the inspiration that we get. Because we see that Father Brahma could do this, then why can't we? So even when some children show the love in their heart, with pearls in their eyes. They are not tears of sorrow or tears of separation, but pearls of love. It is the love of the meeting of hearts. You're not yogis who are separated, but Raja yogis. Because true love in the heart brings you the power to be the first to give the Father a fast return. To give a return means to become equal. It is with this method that you will return to your sweet home with your loving Bap Dada. That is, you will go back with him. What is Baba saying? That when we become equal to Baba, that's the return we have to give to Baba for all that he has given us. That will help us return along with Bap Dada to our sweet home. So if we truly love Bap Dada, Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba, then we'll actually come closer to both of them if we make effort quickly and a good quality effort as well. So that is, you will go back with him. You have to give a return and also return home with the Father. So many times we have talked about this, right? That does God give unconditional love or is it conditional? But if you look at it, see, Baba is also asking for a return of the love, sustenance, and all the limitless and infinite amount of treasures that he has given us. Yes. So what do we have to do? We have to become equal to the Father. So you have to give a return and also return home with the Father. This is why your love and remembrance make you detached from the world. This is why your love and remembrance make you detached from the world and loving to the Father. Bab Dada was seeing the children's thoughts of becoming powerful and their enthusiasm to become equal. He was seeing the specialities of Father Brahma. So who? Shiv Baba was seeing the specialities of Father Brahma. If you were to speak about Brahma Baba's specialities, how many could there be? There was speciality at every step. Even in his thoughts, he had the zeal and enthusiasm at every moment to make everyone special. In a practical way, you saw in him the speciality of constantly putting zeal and enthusiasm into every soul through his attitude. He gave courage with his words. He brought hope to those who felt hopeless. He made weak souls fly in the flying stage. He made everyone worthy of doing service. His every word was invaluable, sweet, and yukti yukt. Similarly, he was the children's companion in every action and made them karma yogis. See what is Baba saying? All the wonderful qualities, specialities of Brahma Baba. He gave courage with his words. He brought hope to those who felt hopeless. He made weak souls fly in the flying stage. He made everyone worthy of doing service. His every word was invaluable, sweet, and yukti yukt. Similarly, he was the children's companion in every action and made them karma yogis. He wasn't just an observer who watched with detachment, but in order to give children the experience of the importance of physical world, he was a companion in action. What is Baba saying? He wasn't just an observer who watched with detachment, but in order to give children the experience of the importance of physical work, he was a companion in action. In other words, he just didn't delegate all the responsibilities to people. Yeah, it's like, oh, you do everything, I'll just sit in my room. No, he would actually do everything on his own. And in not necessarily on his own, but he would get involved with the children and together the task would get accomplished. So Baba is saying, whatever actions I perform, children who see me will automatically do the same. जो कर मैं करूंगा मुझे देख बच्चे भी करेंगे. So he constantly taught this lesson with his actions. In relationships and connections with little children, he became like the little children and made them happy. Yeah, when he would be around little children, then he would make them feel, happy. He would become childlike as well. With retired elderly people, being an experienced elderly person himself, he constantly gave them zeal and enthusiasm. Yeah, so with elderly people, he would behave in a more mature fashion. So with little children, he was like a child. With the youth, he was like a youth, and with the elderly, he was an elderly person and constantly made each one move forward. In his relationships and connections, he always gave them the experience of belonging. Little children would also say, Baba doesn't love anyone as much as he loves me. He gave each one so much love that each one felt, Baba is mine. This is the speciality of relationship and connection. In looking at others, he saw the speciality and the virtue of every soul. In his thoughts, even while always knowing someone to be the last number bead, he always had pure and positive thoughts for such a soul that that soul would constantly move forward. He wouldn't just write off any soul, and that soul is of no good. What's the point in me making effort on that soul? So he would involve everyone. All the children experienced such specialities. To become equal in all these things means to follow the Father. Is it difficult to follow in this way? This is called love. Yeah, even in the slogan of today's Sakar Murli, that was the slogan. You remember? What was it? And when we have love for Baba, then automatically things become easy. So, yes, when we have love for Baba, then everything becomes easy. So, this is called giving the return. You understand now how Baba has explained that Baba has given us so much. So, what are the three things that he mentioned in the beginning? He gave us love, sustenance, but also limitless treasures. So, what do we have to give in return? Baba said that you give love, but even that love has been given to you by me. So, you're returning that love. So, it's not a big thing. But what he really wants in return for all that he has given us is that we become like him. Mm. Yeah. So, like I was saying earlier, that even God's love is not completely unconditional. It's not conditional for himself. It's not that he wants something in return for himself, but he wants us to do something with what he's giving us. Yeah. In other words, he's not going to give us for free. Yeah. So let's move forward. Bab Dada saw how much return each child has given. Everyone has the aim, but the number lies in their practical lives. Everyone wants to be number one. No one would prefer to be number two or three. This is also a good and powerful aim, but to make your qualifications according to your aim is to become equal. For this, what was the first step of courage that Father Brahma took through which he experienced being multi-million times fortunate from the beginning? The first step of courage was to surrender everything. I'll repeat for this that Baba wants our qualifications to be according to our aim. Yeah. We keep thinking, yes, Baba, I'm going to become like you, but we don't improve our lives. It won't work. So, for this, Baba said, what was the first step of courage that Father Brahma took through which he experienced being multi million times fortunate from the beginning? The first step of courage was to surrender everything. He surrendered everything. He didn't think about what would happen or how it would happen. In a second, according to the Father's elevated directions, when the Father gave a signal, it was the Father's signal and Brahma's action or stamp. This is called the first step of courage. He even surrendered his body. He constantly made his mind successful with the method of Manpanabha. This was how his mind, that is, every thought was successful. That is, he became an embodiment of success. Without any worry for the future, he surrendered all his wealth because he had the faith that this giving was not giving, but was to be receiving multi-million fold. You understand that when we give, are we really giving to Baba? That giving is actually receiving multi-million fold. In the same way, he also surrendered his relationships. That is, he transformed Lokic relationships into alokik. He didn't leave anything, but he brought benefit and transformed everything. He surrendered the intellect that had the consciousness of I and the intellect of ego. That was how he became constantly pure, cool, and a bestower of happiness with his body, mind, and intellect. No matter what situations came up with his Lokic family or even with souls in the world not known to him, there was no upheaval of doubt either in his thoughts or in his dreams, even in a subtle form, not even the slightest thought. Yeah, there were a lot of challenges that came to him, but there was no upheaval in his mind. Yeah, neither in the thoughts, not even, and also not in his dreams. Take care, so total surrender. So, Father Brahma's special wonder was that where all of you had the example of Father Brahma in the corporeal form in front of all of you, Brahma himself did not have any physical example in front of him. See, we have Brahma Baba in front of us and we can copy him, but Brahma Baba had no one. So, he was the leader. He had just himself to look at. And of course, Shiv Baba, he would look at Shiv Baba for all the directions. But see, that is something. So Brahma himself did not have any physical example in front of him. Unshakable faith and the Father's Srimad were his only support. For all of you, it is very easy, and the later you came, the easier it has been for you because you have the example of the elevated life of transformation of many souls. It is clear for you. You have to do this and become this. This is why there is no margin for you people to question why and what. You can see everything. However, there was a margin for these questions to arise in Father Brahma. What do you have to do? What is going to happen in the future? Am I doing it right or am I doing it wrong? It was possible for these thoughts to arise, but he made the possible impossible. With one strength and one support, his intellect had faith, and he became the number one victorious soul. Because of this surrender, his intellect was always light. He didn't have any burden on his intellect. His mind was carefree. On his face, you always saw the clear signs of a carefree emperor. 350 children, and there wasn't even flour to feed the children, and they had to be fed on time. Just think, could anyone remain carefree in such a situation? The bell had to be rung at 1 p.m., and up to 11 a.m., there was no flour. Who could remain carefree? Even under such circumstances, he remained cheerful and unshakable. This is the Father's responsibility, not mine. I belong to the Father, and the children also belong to the Father. I am just an instrument. Who can have such faith and remain carefree? A soul who is surrendered with his mind and intellect, yeah, only such a soul can do that. So Baba is asking this question, and then he is answering the question himself. Who can have such faith and remain carefree? A soul who is surrendered with his mind and intellect. Yeah, only such soul can remain so carefree. He did not use his intellect and think, I don't know what is going to happen. Will everyone starve? Will this happen or that happen? Despite having a margin for such waste thoughts and doubts, he always had powerful thoughts. The Father is always the protector and the benefactor. This is the speciality of surrender. So, just as Father Brahma surrendered and took the first step of courage, follow the Father in the same way. Faith definitely brings victory. The flower came on time, the bell was rung, and they passed. This is known as not having questions, not taking a crooked path, but always putting a full stop of benefit. Full stop. Yes. Unnecessarily thinking waste thoughts. How will this work out? What will happen? Instead of that, Father Brahma always put a full stop. That Shiv Baba is there. He's going to take care of everything. Everyone belongs to Shiv Baba. I belong to Shiv Baba as well. The Yagya belongs to Shiv Baba. So Shiv Baba will make everything happen. By using this method, it will be easy for you and you will also attain success. So, what do we have to do? Very simple, put a full stop. Yeah, we keep ruminating about on things, we keep thinking more and more unnecessarily, and so our energy gets drained. And then, how can we find success when we are totally drained out? So, Baba says, put a full stop. So, this was the wonder of Father Brahma. Today, you were told about the one first step, become free from the burden of worrying. And then, Bab Dada meeting groups. First, do you consider yourselves to be the highest on high Brahmin souls? Do you consider yourselves to be the highest on high Brahmin souls who belong to the highest on high Father? Brahmins are remembered as the highest of all. The sign of the highest is always shown as a top knot of Brahmins. People of the world have shown the top knot as a symbol of those worldly Brahmins. So you are not those who have a top knot, but those who remain in the stage of the top knot. Not we don't have to grow our hair long and then create a top knot there, but we have to become the top knot. Our stage has to be the highest. They have shown the physical symbol, but it is in fact a matter of staying in a high stage, elevated stage, in a transcendent stage. So Brahmins are said to be the most elevated. The most elevated means the most elevated of human beings. That is Purushottam. We have to become the highest human beings. I was talking about this sometime back in the Murli. There was a very famous German philosopher by the name of Friedrich Nietzsche. And he wrote a book which is actually very difficult to read. The name of the book is Thus Spoke Zarathustra. I can't even say the name, you know. There's this man, young boy by the name of Zarathustra. Anyway, so there is this mention of Übermensch. It's a German word which basically means Superman. And Superman, not traditional Superman that you see in comic books, but the highest human being, one with the most elevated values and virtues. That should be the goal of human existence, to become Obermensch. Obermensch, we can check how to pronounce that. So Purushottam, that will be the Superman of the human species, the Obermensch. Yeah. So would you like to become that? Who would like to become the Superman, Ubermensch, Purushottam? Baba is guiding us every day. We just have to take the guidance from him by listening to Murlis every day. Every day's Murli is like a roadmap, a GPS for us to reach there little by little, 1 or 2 steps every day. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 step, 2 steps. So the most elevated of human beings, that is Purushottam, more elevated than ordinary human beings. You are such elevated beings, are you not? You see, on one hand, there are plants, then there are animals, and then there are human beings. Among human beings, some human beings even behave like plants. They are so passive, doing nothing. In fact, even plants do a lot of good things. But then sometimes human beings become like animals. So we have to grow to the extent that our lives cannot be like the lives of animals. So we have to become the most elevated human beings. We have to become such that we can guide the rest of the humanity towards their excellence as well. and not just other human beings, the whole of the planet towards golden age. That's our task. So those who are to become elevated souls means to become the most elevated human beings of all. Deities are also called the most elevated because they are deity souls. You are Brahmins, even higher than deity souls, constantly have this intoxication. For the other intoxication, it would be said, reduce it. Yeah, if somebody drinks alcohol or does any drugs, those people would be told that don't drink so much, don't smoke so much. But here, this spiritual intoxication, Baba is saying, yeah, keep increasing it. The father says, continue to increase it because this intoxication does not cause damage. All other forms of intoxication cause damage. This will make you climb high, and the other will make you fall. If spiritual intoxication comes down, you remember the old world. If the intoxication rises, there'll be the awareness of the new world. This Brahmin world is also a new world. This world is even more elevated than the golden age. So constantly continue to move forward in this awareness. Yes. What is the awareness? That we are the highest on high Brahmin souls. And then the second point, do you always experience yourselves to be the elevated creation of the Father, the world creator? Yeah, are we the elevated creation of the Father? Very similar to the first point. Yeah, so maybe we can say that the second point is the first point said a little bit differently. So, Brahmin life means an elevated creation of the world creator. Do you have the intoxication that each one of you is a direct creation of the Father? People of the world say that they have been created by God without knowing what that means. Previously, all of you also used to say this without knowing what it meant. But you are now, but you now know that you are Kumars and Kumaris who belong to the clan of Shiva. So you now say on the basis of knowledge and understanding that God has created you and that you are a mouth-born creation. The Father has created the creation directly through Brahma. So you understand what is this mouth-born creation or mouth-born creation? Does everybody understand? What does this mean? Mouth-born creation. How can anything be created from the mouth? What does it really mean? Who will explain? Simplest terms, just like you say my husband, and your husband says my wife, and so you become each other's. So you created the husband. So God adopts us. That's how. So adopts us in a way just by saying, yeah, there is not really even a written agreement between God and us. Yeah, so in those kind of adoptions, there would be something written, right? Or let's say in marriage also, then it becomes legalized. Then all the paperwork is filled out and so on and so forth, the marriage certificate and whatever else. But let's say two people fall in love with each other, let's say. So it says, you are mine. And the other one says, no, and you are mine. So what is that? Just by saying you created that other person to be yours. And you didn't give birth to the other person, right? The husband doesn't give birth to the wife doesn't give birth to the husband, one lover doesn't give birth to the other lover. So it is a mouth-born creation. Just by saying you are mine, you become, and that person becomes yours. Got it? All right. So you can now say from experience that you are a direct creation of God. So God's creation would be so elevated. As is the creator, so would be his creation, would they not? Do you always have this intoxication and happiness? You do not consider yourselves to be ordinary, do you? When the significance of this enters your intellect, you will have this spiritual intoxication and happiness on your face and in your activities constantly and automatically. When others see your face, they will experience you truly to be a creation of the elevated creator. For instance, you would be able to tell from the behavior of a princess, the daughter of a king, that she is from a royal family. You can tell whether someone is from a wealthy family or an ordinary family in the same way from your behavior and your face. Let people experience you to be an elevated creation, children of the highest Father. Chant Om Shanti. With this, we will end the Murli. Yeah, totally understandable. But with time, it will become more and more natural. Initially, as you married your husband, I'm sure in the beginning it was difficult for you to relate to him, relate to that relationship, especially if it is an arranged marriage. It's very difficult to think, then is that really what the relationship is? But then it becomes natural, it becomes normal. So this will become the new normal for you. So far, absence of Baba in your life and absence of purpose, and to see yourself as a low grade soul was the normal for you. But now new understandings are being given to you by Baba, new realizations, new goals. So now this will become the new normal. One has to keep reminding himself or herself. And that's what I'm sure you're doing every day. So one day you will feel that, yeah, this is it. Yeah, keep pushing yourself, keep trying to understand these things. And one day these clouds of confusion will go away and you will see the destination right in front of you. Only thing I will caution you is that don't think too much, don't over rationalize things, don't over conceptualize things. Just live in the moment and enjoy every moment. When you live in the moment, you'll start to enjoy every moment. And this quest for perfection also can sometimes be very overwhelming. Just take every day as it comes with full fervor, complete enthusiasm. What I was talking about in the morning as well, that Kaizen, right? I was talking about Kaizen, small improvements, incremental improvements every day. And one day you will realize that the bucket is full. The non heap of sand has become a big heap of sand. Yeah. So fret not.